All right, so like back in the days, I was going through like a little breakup or whatever, and I wanted to get back into dating, right? So the homie, well, I don't want to say his name, but fuck that. Carl had told me, you need to get on POF, Plenty of Fish. Because I guess a lot of girls on there, and they like, friendly, they not shy. So I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. So I did, and I was cool with it. I was messaging girls back and forth or whatever. So there was one girl, like, we kept messaging back and forth for about like 2 weeks. And the crazy part was she was always talking about sex, like a dude, like just always talking about sex. So I'm like, that's weird, but I ain't gonna complain, I guess. But one time she asked me, like, what kind of porn do you like? And I'm like, well, I ain't got no crazy fetishes or nothing like that, And she's like, well, what kind of porn do you like? And I'm like, I kind of like the homemade stuff, like amateur stuff or whatever. So she's like, so you like to just watch people have sex? Shit, I mean, it sounds a little creepy when you say it, but yeah, I guess so. So she's like, okay, maybe one of these days I'll surprise you with a video. I'm like, cool. I totally forgot about that conversation. So I say 2 or 3 weeks passed, and she did it. She surprised me. She hit me with a video. Now, I happen to be at work at this time, and I don't really know what this video is. I guess I forgot. I hit the play in the middle of work, and it's like just no intro, no nothing, just straight, just wacka, wacka, wacka. And I'm like, oh, damn. So I paused it. I'm like, you know what? I'll check it out later. I end up going to lunch or whatever, go to the break room, and one of the old heads, he's like a janitor or something, he come up in there and he's talking about some girl in the hall, like, a nurse or something that was in scrubs, or her ass or whatever. So I'm telling him, I'm like, man, like, she's in full clothes, you can't see no ass. I said, man, I said, you know what? I'll show you some real ass. So I gave him my phone, and I said, watch this video, right? So I'm warming up my burrito. I look over there, and he's looking. He keep looking up at me. He looking at the video, and he goes, you checked out this video? I'm like, yeah, nigga, shit, it's my video. I'm like, hurry up before somebody come up in here, man, watch it, and So he's looking. He goes, man, I see a pair of nuts on here. So I'm like, dude, it's a sex tape. Like, it's gonna be some nuts on there. It's a guy and a girl. It's a sex tape. I'm like, nigga, overlook the nuts and look at what you're supposed to look at, the vagina, So he like, yeah, I would look at the vagina, but ain't no vagina on here, man. This is 2 nuts, man. So he throw the phone. He like, man, what kind of funny shit you got me watching? I'm like, shit, I don't know, nigga. I said, I haven't seen it. So he like, man, you said you seen the video. So I'm like, nigga, I didn't see it like that. He said, you seen it enough to know that this was 2 niggas sword fighting. I'm like, bro, my bad. I didn't know. Like, I didn't see it or whatever. Long story short, he did not believe me. Every time this nigga see me in the halls or whatever, most of the time, the crazy part, I'll always be talking to another dude somewhere. This nigga see me and be like, So I'm like, oh my God, this nigga, whatever. He ends up getting strung out on something. I don't know what it was, some type of drug or whatever. So he just started like walking around the neighborhood, just talking to himself, just ranting and just whatever. So a few times I seen him, I tried to speak to him, try to say what's up, whatever. He didn't recognize me, didn't notice me, didn't whatever. So I kind of just left him alone. So one time I pull up to the gas station and he's sitting out in front of the gas station. So I jump out. I'm like, you know what? I left my phone in the car. I'm like, you know what? Let me go get my phone. I don't want this nigga to try to break into my car or take my phone, right? So I run back and go get the phone. And this nigga goes, yeah. He said, get that phone out the car. He said, you wouldn't want to miss none of the messages from that plenty of dicks. I was like, what?